I recently faced a dog owner's worst nightmare. The HOA president sprayed my service dog in the face, then tried to have him labeled as dangerous and put down. And her reason? She said he was barking too much. Funny thing is, the only thing that got tested that day was my willpower not to ruin her entire existence. Let me start from the beginning. My name is Jack Dalton. I used to handle dogs who could find a bomb in a sandstorm. Now I handle Teddy, a golden retriever whose most dangerous mission is chasing squirrels away from the bird feeder. He's my service dog. He helps with the noise in my head. The quiet in our little house in the suburbs was a peace I'd earned, a peace I thought I had. But peace in a place like this comes with a rule book, and the rule book has a name, Karen Jordan. She was the president of our homeowners association. That meant she was the queen of beige siding, the commander of lawn height, and the grand marshal of acceptable mailbox designs. To her, a blade of grass over 2 inches was an act of rebellion. Teddy and I were on our morning walk. The sun was up. The sprinklers were doing their rhythmic dance. It was calm. Teddy was sniffing a patch of grass near Mrs. Gable's prize-winning roses. He was on his leash right by my side. Then a delivery truck backfired down the street. A loud, sharp crack like a rifle shot. My shoulders went tight. My breath caught. Teddy felt it instantly. He let out a single sharp bark. Not aggressive, just a warning. His way of saying, "I'm here, boss. I've got you." It's what he's trained to do. He pressed his shoulder into my knee. Deep pressure on cue. My breathing came back. That one bark was enough. Karen Jordan's front door flew open. She marched out onto her manicured lawn like a general reviewing her troops. Pink floral top, sun visor glued to her forehead, face pinched, eyes narrow. "Jack Dalton," she snapped, her voice cutting glass. "You cannot control that animal." "He's a service dog, Karen." He was startled, I answered. "He is a menace," she declared to the street. "He is constantly barking, threatening the peace of this community." It was a lie. Teddy was quieter than half the purse dogs on this block. He barked maybe twice a week. But when Karen decided something, truth didn't matter. "He barked once," I said, calm. "We're leaving." I tugged Teddy's leash, ready to walk away. But Karen wasn't done. A few neighbors peeked out windows. Neighbor Duke watered his petunias and pretended not to watch. Karen had an audience. She loved an audience. "This is your final warning, Mr. Dalton. This community has standards." And then fate walked in on cue. A police cruiser rolled down the street, Officer Miller and Officer Sanchez. Karen's eyes lit up. She waved them down like reinforcements. The cruiser squealed to a stop. Another unit rolled up behind. "Officers!" Karen cried, full of false panic. "Thank heavens you're here. This man's vicious animal just lunged at me." My blood ran cold. "That's not true," I said, voice hard. Miller sighed, stepping out. "What's the problem here, folks?" Karen unleashed her performance, painting Teddy as a frothing beast. Meanwhile, Teddy sat calmly at my side, tail giving a confused thump. His eyes said, "What did I do wrong, Dad?" Miller and Sanchez exchanged that look. "Let's get this over with." "Ma'am, it's a dog on a leash. He seems calm now," Miller said. "Now?" Karen shrieked. "Only because you're here, he needs to be muzzled, registered as dangerous." And then it happened. While the cops looked at each other, Karen stepped forward, a small canister in her hand. Before I could react, she aimed it at Teddy's face and sprayed. A chemical mist hit him in the eyes. He yelped, stumbled back, pawed frantically at his face, whimpering in panic. I dropped to my knees. "Teddy, hey buddy, it's okay." The smell hit me, chemical, sharp. Not harmless citronella, something stronger, capsaicin. Rage burned white-hot in my chest. I rose slowly, my voice quiet, dangerous. "What did you just do?" Karen smirked. "I was defending myself. Perfectly harmless." Sanchez shoved a saline bottle in my hand. "Flush his eyes now." I obeyed, whispering comfort as Teddy whimpered, "She just assaulted my service animal. In front of you," I growled. Miller confiscated the canister, bagged it as evidence. The test later proved me right. It wasn't citronella, it was weaponized. The officers, exhausted, told me to calm down, told Karen to go inside. To them, it was just another neighborhood spat. But I knew better. It was a declaration of war. The next morning, a white van with the county seal pulled into my driveway. Animal control. My stomach turned to stone. Teddy lifted his head from his mat, sensing the tension. A man in khaki uniform stepped out, clipboard in hand. "Jack Dalton?" "I am," I answered flatly. "I'm Officer Ruiz with Animal Control. We've received a report concerning your golden retriever." I didn't need to guess where it came from. "The report states your dog bit a child yesterday." The words hit like a sledgehammer. A child? There was no child. There had only been me, Teddy, Karen, and the two officers. "That's impossible," I said. "He never bit anyone. There was no child there." Ruiz avoided my eyes. He looked like a man who had heard every excuse in the book. "Sir, we have a sworn witness statement. Says the child was rushed home by the mother before police arrived. That's why they didn't see it." A phantom victim. A lie with just enough detail to sound official. "This is retaliation," I snapped. "Karen Jordan made this up because she has a grudge against me and my service dog." "I understand," Ruiz muttered, though clearly he didn't. "But procedure is procedure. A child bite requires mandatory action. The dog must be quarantined for 10 days. My chest went cold. "Quarantined where?" "At the county shelter," he said. Images flashed in my head. Concrete floors, cages, dogs barking endlessly. Teddy losing his training, his calm, his trust. It would destroy him. "No," I said firmly. "He's a task-trained service animal. Out of protections apply. He stays with me." Ruiz flipped through his papers, then sighed. "There is one option, home quarantine, but there are conditions. He cannot leave the house or fenced yard. No walks, no contact with other animals, and—" He handed me a bright orange sign. Big black letters screamed, "Dangerous animal." I stared at it, my sanctuary branded like a plague house. "That's not the worst part," Ruiz continued softly. "Because the report alleges an unprovoked bite on a child, a formal hearing is scheduled. The burden of proof will be on you to show your dog isn't dangerous. If you fail, the standard order is humane euthanasia." The word cut through me like a knife. Euthanasia. "When?" I whispered. "Backlog means a few weeks, but—" Ruiz hesitated. "The complainant has filed for an emergency destruction order. If my supervisor approves it, we'll be back tomorrow to take the dog." "Tomorrow?" He handed me a case number and walked away. The van door slammed shut. I looked at Teddy through the window. He tilted his head, tail still, eyes trusting me like always. He didn't know his life was hanging by a thread. I leaned against the door, gripping the orange sign in my fist. 24 hours. That's all I had. The mission had begun. The neighborhood turned into enemy territory overnight. At midnight, my motion light clicked on. Two shadows crept by my gate, HOA cronies in polo shirts whispering. "Karen wants every door posted," one muttered. I stepped into the light. "Evening," I said coldly. They froze. One of them stammered something about emergency pet ordinances. I filmed their flyer. Fake, no date, no legal seal, just Karen's name typed at the bottom. They scurried off. I saved the video. Evidence, always evidence. The next morning, I canvassed the block for doorbell camera footage. Proof Teddy never bit anyone. The Millers cracked their door, nervous. "Sorry, Jack, our subscription lapsed. No video saved." A lie. They were scared. Mrs. Gable wrung her hands. "I saw her spray your poor dog, but I can't testify. Karen's on the review committee and my shed isn't to code." Fear ruled her life. House after house. No answers, no help. Finally, I went to Duke, whose camera had the perfect angle. "It's on the fritz," he mumbled, eyes shifting. His camera's green light glowed solid. Another lie. She got to you, I said. What did she promise? To overlook your oil stain? Approve that satellite dish? He snapped. That dog of yours is a beast. Good riddance, I say. He slammed the door in my face. I stood there, fists clenched. Rage boiled, but I forced it down. That's what Karen wanted, to make me the monster she claimed I was. Back home, Teddy whined for his walk. I couldn't take him. He paced the yard, confused, and my resolve hardened. I wasn't just defending anymore. I was going on the offensive. I filed reports, compiled evidence, and then I made a call to an old friend, Marcus, tech genius, a man I'd served with overseas. Karen Jordan wants my dog dead, I told him flatly. There was a pause, then his voice hardened. Not happening. What do you need? Intel, I said. She coordinated this too fast. Emails, witness statements. There has to be a trail. 30 minutes later, Marcus called back, excitement in his voice. I'm in. Their HOA password was Meadows123. Pathetic. And Jack, you were right. It's all here. He read the email aloud. Karen to her assistant. We'll state that Dalton's retriever bit a child. Make the child anonymous. We need emergency protocol. I want that animal gone by the end of the week. Another email. Karen bullying her assistant Sarah into signing the false report. I finally had it. Proof. The wrecking ball I needed. But evidence alone wouldn't be enough. I had to flip Sarah, the coerced witness. She was the weak link. That afternoon, fate delivered my chance. Sarah's little dog slipped out of her gate, running straight into the street. A van approached. Without thinking, I vaulted my fence, scooped the dog up, and saved it from the bumper with seconds to spare. Sarah ran out, pale, terrified. Oh my God, you saved him. She broke. Tears, guilt, confession. Karen forced me to sign, I lied, I'm so sorry. I looked her in the eye. Then help me fix it. Tell the truth. She nodded. What do we do? The tide had turned.